One of my earliest memories of Las Vegas wasn't of the actual city. It was the ride getting there. It was before flying was affordable as it is now, and for a family of four, gas was a lot less than airfare. We caravanned in two cars, my family and some close family friends. The three kids were in the back of a pickup truck protected by a camper shell. I remember it was cool that we had so much room to play. Along the way, at a gas stop, we picked up some finger skateboards. We had so much fun playing as we rode down the interstate. We traveled at night to dodge the summer heat of California and Nevada. We spent the entire time playing, not knowing the landscapes that were passing us by just outside the window. I remember cresting the hill, and there it was, Vegas. The lights were blinding. They lit up the desert sky. As we pulled up to our hotel, I was mesmerized at the sight of a 50-foot clown glowing in neon. The pink and white big top tent was going to be our home for the next few days. Now, if you don't know, in the 80s and 90s, Circus was the place to be for kids. Once you entered the casino, you would head upstairs. To me, it seemed like I was teleported from Las Vegas to a wonderland. There were arcade and carnival games as far as the eye could see. And every hour, there would also be circus acts performed right in the center of everything. That place was unreal. Time would fly by. The only thing that would bring us back to reality was running out of quarters. That meant we had to go downstairs into a smoke-filled casino and find our parents to fund our fantasy. Not even hunger could break the trance. At this stage of my life, nothing could beat this feeling. Fast forward to present day. There are a lot of things that I can do in Las Vegas, but I think most tourists who visit come to gamble and drink, followed closely by the foodie crowd. Vegas has some of the best restaurants and eateries I have ever been to, and the buffets. I know one thing I could count on was going with my mom to the breakfast buffet at the Riviera. I miss that, and her. Red Rock Canyon felt like a threshold. Not quite the city, but not untouched either. I never knew this was here. I slowed down and took in the scenery, and I started to notice what was always there, the beauty of this barren place. In the shadows of the mountains lies sparse housing surrounded by sand, rocks, and drought-tolerant foliage. Existing in this harsh environment has to be difficult. The short drive it took to get here has made me wonder how I never made it to see this place. I have to be honest, I'm not what you would consider an outdoor person. I think my time in the military may play a part in me not wanting to spend extended periods in the elements. I did not feel the need to get back to the air conditioning here. This place felt special. Trying to capture images in this unforgiving terrain was just that, unforgiving. We're in a battle of time trying to catch the sun as it was rapidly falling towards the mountains. We ended up not getting to the exact place we wanted. Time was not on our side. We pulled off to the side of the road to a place we thought was a suitable spot to set up. Once we were out of the car, we had a new adversary. We had to deal with relentless wind that decided to blow my equipment around at will. I really needed a sandbag. 1 point for Red Rock Canyon. The sun disappeared behind the mountains and the sky turned bright orange and pink. Stunning. I'm thankful for this time in the desert and the images I captured. Ever since I got my driver's license, I've been driving on Interstate 15. That same stretch of interstate leads here. A 45-minute drive north to Las Vegas, and you'll arrive. This desolate place could care less about Vegas. It existed long before it, and it'll be here long after. In the valley, I felt small. Not in a bad way, but in a way that makes you put your own existence into perspective. The rock formations almost look intentional. Nature's sculptures. Hard to believe there's life all around me, but there is. You just have to know where to look. As a bird flew over our car, lost that bet. I just said there were no birds out here, and that's when it hit me. All those years ago, we drove right past places just like this. Not because they weren't important, but because we weren't looking. Being that this is a state park, there were rules that were in place that altered our shooting experience. First, no drones. Now, I love a good aerial shot, but I would hate to get fined. Also, pulling out large cinema cameras would draw attention to us. At this location, we just wanted to blend in. So we chose to drive further into the park to get away from the other visitors. More seclusion felt like the best choice. We found what seemed like the perfect spot. We pulled to the side of the road and grabbed our gear. The view from the crest of that hill was humbling. I could have sat up there for hours. It was a hot day, the hill was steep, and I was carrying a bunch of camera gear. But the payoff was the view and the wind blowing cool air from the valley below, a fitting reward. Looking back at this day, reminded me of the years before. The destination was breathtaking, but the car ride was equally entertaining. In a car with friends, experiencing something for the first time together. That is something I will truly never forget. We had been going nonstop, it seemed. We were out in Vegas for WPPI, so we would spend all day at the show and then spend the evenings filming, shooting photos, and editing. On this particular day, we had a sunrise shoot. We got to the dry lake bed just in time to watch the sun come over the mountains. This was supposed to be the only shoot location, but in talking with the model, we found out about another hidden gem. Nelson's Point felt different. The thing that was most noticeable was the silence. But the wind didn't let us stay silent for long. Seems like the same wind from a few days ago found us again. Just a stone's throw from another state, divided by the Colorado River. We were so close that our phones changed time zones. This area was once known for gold and silver. Now it sits empty. Not abandoned, just no longer the focus. Growing up in the city has made me seek out places like this. And now that I had arrived, I wondered who else had gotten to experience this place. And I did some self-reflecting. And I came to the conclusion that this is why I travel, and this is why I make photos. I travel to see the world's hidden places, and to make photos to show other people the wonders of the world. I just wish I had started sooner. I've always carried a camera in my travels, but in my younger years, most of the photos consist of the inside of bars and clubs. In a way, I guess it gives me an excuse to go back to those places to see what I missed, and I missed a lot. As I embark on this journey with an unknown destination, I plan to document each step. I plan to use these videos and images as a metric to measure my growth as a photographer and a content creator, and as a citizen of this planet we share. One day I'll look back and this will be a memory and a story I can tell my grandchildren. I already have so many stories to tell. I hope they don't get sick of me. My wife and I have a thing. If we're close to water, we have to at least put our foot in. So, I did. But this was not it. I had to get the flash closer to my model, but these tender feet I have were not made for these jagged Nevada rocks. I did it, and I got the shot. Overall, I'm pleased with the shots I got, and I'm glad I got to see this beautiful place. Las Vegas, the illusionist. He doesn't lie to you. He shows you exactly what you want to see. When I was younger, he showed me lights, games, a world that felt bigger than anything I had ever known, and I believed it. Every second of it. Because that's what he does. He keeps you focused on what's right in front of you. The lights, the noise, the feeling. And while you're locked into that moment, you miss everything else. The land, the silence, the history, the places you don't even know exist. He didn't hide them from me. They were always there. I just wasn't looking.